Welcome everyone.
Hello.
I hope that didn't blast anyone's ears because we haven't sound checked. We are here at the Lair in Stockholm. I'm Jimmy. This is Erica.
This is Erica.
Yeah. We will be your hosts today. We will see how tired we are at the end of the day.
We have 20 players here in Stockholm, Sweden, playing the biggest ProQuest in Sweden, I believe.
Yep.
But it's going to be 5 rounds today, and the first round has already gone as we had some streaming difficulties that we needed to sort it out before going live. So we're going to head straight into round number 2 shortly.
Yep.
So we have 5 rounds in total, and after that we're going to kick straight into top 8, and we're going to try to cover all of those games.
Yep. We'll see, maybe in the top 8 we get some players that haven't gotten to top 8 that will join us and actually let us go take a break, eat something. We'll see.
Yes.
We have a small food.
It's going to be a long day.
Yeah. So this is the second ProQuest so far in Sweden. They played one yesterday in Trollhättan, if I'm right. Yeah. And I think that Tobias, who's going to play here, he came in second in that one.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is exciting.
Yes.
And I think you know the other player.
Yes, so my dear loved partner is going to be playing Ragnar on the opposite side, and Tobias, I believe, is going to play Starvo, right? Yes.
Yeah, I think Tobias is on Starvo.
So both of them are 1-0 in going into the second round, so it's the top table we have here. So it's going to be a great start to the day.
It's going to be really interesting. What is Stefan playing?
Ragnar.
Oh!
Near and dear.
My favorite hero. Yeah. You
got
didn't
some
know
really
that.
good cards in the latest classic battles.
Yep. I'm very happy. I think it's best for the new, the new cards are better for the aggro build.
Yep.
So I think that they will be really interesting into Levaya. People say that they're not that good into Levaya. We'll see.
Oh, and Levaya got her first LL points.
Yes, I know.
Living Legend points.
Yeah, this is the best ProQuest so far this season. We had a Ragnar win too, right? I think
so.
During week 1. Yeah.
So you can't count out the brutes this season?
No. The Levaya deck, I'm not sure if you've seen it. It's the Mansant deck.
Is that the one without the blood depth cards?
It has 3 blood depth cards in the deck.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're counting out the Levaya strat at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny because I think that the reason that you play Levaya and not Ragnar in that deck is that you want the 3 blood depth card to hit for 7 for 2 because it's a pummel deck.
Right.
Yeah. It's really just a tunic, pummel, you want to pitch a blue, you want to swing with a 2-cost attack, and you want to pummel that attack.
God, I love that combination of tunic on a Rhino. It's just lovely. Someone needs to make an art form of that.
Yeah, I'm like everything that's fancy clothes on Rhino is my favorite. Now in Blitz, I'm going into deep blue because the cross strap got banned.
Right.
Which is also like the, let's pummel.
You get a little bit of a Hulk vibe.
Yeah, yep.
Tear off the clothes and just bananas.
I hope that I have a little bit of interference in my headphone. I'm not sure if you have that.
I do. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, so we hope that don't go out on stream. If it does, we will check that after the first round. So you will have to, we are the technicians at the same time that we're doing the casting. We're not a super big team here.
Yeah, but there's been a lot of hours going into this setup that we have here right now. So
yes.
a lot of hard work and effort go into this stream. So we hope it's as good as we can get.
Yeah, and if you hear a bit of interference with people talking and stuff like that, we're not sitting super close to our players, but we are down in Lair's gaming room. So I think we have some Magic players, just a table away. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, so when it comes to breakdowns of heroes and stuff like that, we're waiting for that.
Yes.
We're not 100% sure. I would guess that we have some Chains, we have some Starvos, we have some Prism.
That looks like we have the round ready to go. But as mentioned, we will have a pie chart available soon where we can see the breakdown and what the local meta looks like, as it's a bit wild compared to what we might see in other scenarios. Yeah.
So let's jump over to the game and see how the transition works now. Yeah. All right. Here we go. And we got
ready to go. So on the left-hand side we have Tobias coming here from Stockholm, Sweden, and on the right-hand side we have Stefan. On the bottom, rather, playing Ragnar, also from Stockholm, Sweden.
Yep.
We don't have that many people coming from outside of Sweden. We have one guy from Finland, I believe, and the other people are from Sweden or nearby. I think we have 5 different cities across Sweden represented here today. Yeah,
I think that the first season of the ProQuest, we had way more people traveling around because they wanted to get an invite to the actual first Pro Tour. But we also have way more different stores running this event now, going into season 2.
Yeah, I believe we have 4 stores in total in Sweden this
Yeah.
season, so that's quite a lot.
And they had 2 2 in Finland, so that's double up to, I don't know how Norway and Denmark is looking, but...
Okay, so we have a high roller into a...
Yeah, it seems like a classic first turn for Reiner. If you have the hand, you want to try to intimidate as much as
Reiner
possible.
got to start, that's really good.
Yep.
For the Reiner player in that case.
And Stefan only takes 2 damage from the from the Beast Within. We've seen him take like 16 damage during some of our local armories, so...
That's rough.
Yep.
But that's how it works.
All right.
So another Intimidate, so we have 2 cards going into defense here.
Yep. And coming in for 7. Tobias blocking for 5, yep.
So taking 2?
Yep. I mean, that's a pretty good first turn, still. Maybe you don't want to discard your Beast Within this early in the game, but then again, like, it's random, right? So if that's the card you have to do your thing, you kind of need to do it.
What do you think Tobias' strategy is here? Is he going to go for the fatigue game, or is he just going to block anything out, or is he going to try to rush?
I am guessing that Tobias is playing his defensive build of Starvo.
Yeah.
Like, he basically said before the Pro Tour that he's playing Starvo as Oldhim, because that's his favorite hero.
Right.
But he can't really beat Starvo, and he has problems with other decks too when he goes Oldhim. So I think after the meta rotates and we don't have Starvo anymore, he's going to go back to Oldhim, or he's going to play Islander. We'll see. But
so
yeah, Tobias is...
Here.
Yeah. I think this build is quite aggressive when he wants to be, but then it can go like, he builds up his second cycle to be defensive, but still get the things. But the Reiner build is starting to become more and more defensive. I don't know what Stefan is on, but I think that the one that's winning the most is the like mid-range, grindy Reiner deck right now.
Exactly. I think he's betting for the mid-range, but he has sideboard well into Prism, so he can go wide as well if need be.
Yep. Yeah, Prism used to be Reiner's best matchup. You were laughing all the way to the bank. And now instead it's like a horrible matchup with all the auras. But yeah. All right, like first turns. Probably just going to be a little bit of shipping here and there.
Stefan defended with a sink below, and now going into his round on an Intimidate from the Parisian Beta.
Yeah. One day I will find a D4 that is big and nice to have on stream for the first Intimidate roll. The second one is way easier because then you just go D3. But the first one, we're going to keep on rolling the 5s and 6s. It takes forever. So Smash Instinct for 6.
Oh, we have Shadow Lake Frigid in hand. He's going to block with that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean...
And Faith Foreseen on top, yeah.
He needs to block with 2, otherwise he's just going to take so much extra damage. All right. I mean, I think, unfortunately, this matchup is unfavored for Reiner, even if I love my Reiner. But we'll see.
I mean, you really need to get those Intimidates in, so you're really forcing the damage on your opponent.
Yeah.
And only coming in with 1 Intimidate really opens up for your opponent to block
as
efficient as they can.
The weird part with Reiner and Intimidate right now too, right, is that you, against certain decks, you don't want to Intimidate too much. Because if you Intimidate too much, they're just going to be like, okay, I'm going to take the damage, but I have a full grip and I can swing back and I can do whatever I want on my turn. I also see that we have totally forgotten about the fact that we have hero portraits.
Oh, there you go. Nice one.
So, let's see. I almost just pressed Oldhim out of... There we go. Yeah.
Okay, so we're coming in for Frosty 4.
Yep.
And those beautiful Frostbite cards that Tobias managed to get from the Pro Tour from the Polish players,
Yep.
I believe, that handed them out.
Yep.
Really, really beautiful looking cards.
Yep.
So he's going to take the 4, going to take the Frostbite. So we have enough mana here to come back big, we believe.
Yeah.
I mean, Reiner decks aren't typically super mana heavy, but
you
should be able to get around this Frostbite. So another Barraging Beta on red.
Yep. There we go. Are we gonna see a Blood Rush? No. No, it's a swing big on hand there.
I'm not sure what he has in Arsenal at this point.
Yep. But yeah.
A swing big. So this is the one that gets a quicken token in case you block it all.
And now we have our tournament organizer fiddling with the audio settings here. Yeah.
So swing big is going to come in for 8. Is it
8 or 12?
Yes.
Yep.
So he needs to block with 2 cards to avoid the extra.
Yeah. Did he block it out completely? No, he takes damage, yeah. The thing with Swing Big against Starvo, I think like giving him a Quicken token is not really gonna matter that much.
Not
so it's
really.
kind of a safe card. Swing Big in general against most cards is, like most decks, is kind of safe to play, because if you are facing off against a deck that wants to have a lot of wide turns, usually they have that tech built in to begin with. You're not, waiting to get your Quicken token from blocking out Swing Big. So it's just an 8 for 2 most of the time.
Yes. It's going to come in with a normal hammer this time. No ice card in the pitch zone, so it's just a normal 4.
Yep. Right. Fate.
So this is really going to be a long, drawn-out fight wherever who is going to be able to block the most efficient.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like I think I played Reiner in the calling in New Jersey, and when you start facing off against the Starvos, it's really hard, because you can control the game up until the point you come into second cycle, and if they pitch correctly, they're just going to have way more explosive turns, and they usually win on that.
Yep. So the reason why we may have seen a non-frosty hammer last time is because Tobias wanted to get an earth card in.
Yeah, probably. Or warm hammer, as Tobias call it.
Exactly.
Okay, we do some crown shenanigans. Nothing new here.
No intimidate this turn, it's just a massacre for 6.
Yeah.
And he's going to take 5.
I think that Stefan might have set up a big defense reaction in Arsenal, waiting for some of
waiting for something big.
Yeah. Because Massacre is one of those cards that if you have it on hand, you usually want to get it into Arsenal otherwise, because on the Blood Rush turn, when you try to swing in for damage, it's so good.
Okay, a Crippling Crush. Here we go.
Yeah.
And we have a star reactivation on top of that, so we're going to come in for 13.
This is where we hope he sits on that defense reaction.
Yeah, 13 go again.
There is an unmovable in hand though. But there's also a Blood Rush, and it kind of sucks.
But he's going to decide to... Okay.
Yeah, and then it's going to be unmovable. Yeah, there we go.
So a movable blocks for 8, right? If it's a red one, if it's, I believe.
Yeah.
And swing big blocks for 3, right?
Yep. So it would be
some hand signings here. Gonna take 2.
Yep.
Then we're
very
going to
nice.
see a hammer follow up here. Yep. Pitching the Blizzard.
Yep.
Coming in for Frosty 4.
And Stefan pitching the Blood Rush, because he knows that those are very, very good later. Yeah.
So he's setting up a plan here.
Yep.
For the later game.
Oh, it's one of the new cards.
Ooh.
That is the pack call. So Tobias actually needs to read it.
What is this?
So when you block with it, you need to reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a 6 attack, it stays. Otherwise, it goes to the bottom.
It was so funny because when Stefan was going to pull out his deck list, he couldn't really use the FAB automated one because they didn't have the new cards from the classic battles. He wanted to use those, so it was a bit annoying that they had to type those out.
Yeah, that was...
brand new.
Yeah. Alright.
Alright, so we took some frost.
Yeah.
We're just going to pass the turn.
And he's arsenaling another unmovable, I think.
But we're still quite even. 31 on Tobias and Stefan on 28. We're kind of having an even battle here right now.
Yeah. Alright. Break ground. Yes, normal 7.
I mean, losing the Autumn's Touch for the Starboard players in the latest errata wasn't really
fair.
That hurtful.
It was fair.
It was fair.
It was fair. It was karma. They deserved it. I think Briar cries more about that.
Yes, unfortunately. As a Briar main myself, I was not happy to see that one. But yeah, there are plenty of other Earth cards to go about, but Autumn's Touch definitely had a good spot in there.
Yep, for sure. However, like, losing that card and you having to start thinking of what do I replace it with, I put Burgeoning in because burgeoning on the turn when you go with Force of Nature is really good, because it activates itself if it comes from Arsenal.
Right.
So it opened up for some tech, but yes, it's harder to block with the deck all of a sudden.
So Stefan decided to block big here and come in with just a Savage. No, what's it called? Rumping Club.
Yep.
Rumping Club. Coming in for 4.
Yeah.
And we're gonna block with the shield.
We're gonna block, we're gonna pitch. Building up that pitch stack for...
Not doing the crown, that's interesting.
Yeah.
The Arsenal is still there.
Yep.
Does he have something in there that he wants to play, maybe? Not. Okay. So we're just gonna leave it there. And have an evergreen for 7.
He might have set up something that's really good for the explosive turn.
Right.
And he also, like, if he doesn't need to, then why take it away?
Yeah, true.
So yeah.
But unfortunately for Stefan, thanks to the Crown of Seeds, Tobias is able to cycle his deck a lot faster than Stefan is going to be able to. So he needs to really time his defensive reactions well here to combat whatever is going to be there.
Yeah, I mean,
second cycle.
If Starvo was just sitting on aggressive strategies, I think Reiner would be a pretty good matchup. But the fact that he sits on all the Guardian defensive shenanigans and can be quite a good fatigue deck, this is interesting.
Yes.
Command and
C and C against someone with Crown of Seeds, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a 6 attack card, so
it
it's
is for
still
sure.
useful for Reiner in terms of discarding for the other Reiner cards that he has.
Yeah, for sure. But usually it has no effect. But it depends on how your sideboard is looking too. Like sideboard space in the meta we are in right now, where you need to, like, you have one part of your sideboard for Starvo, you have another part for Shane, you have a little bit of it if you're up against Kano, you need to have Prism Tech. It's like
you need to cover so many bases here.
It runs out quickly.
And here in the local meta, especially when you have players coming in from all over Sweden, you have a really hard time reading what you're going to face on these type of days, as the typical local armories are way different in terms of local meta, that we only see the Stockholm players fight each other out on a weekly basis. You typically understand that you are comfortable on this type of heroes, you're comfortable on this type of heroes, you can sort of call it out. But since today we have people flying in or moving in or driving in or whatever way they choose to come here from all over Sweden, it's going to be a wild day.
Yeah, for sure. I just realized that we haven't turned on our chat, but we will do that for the next game. So if people are sitting and saying hi to us, then hi. I waved to the camera that is not on at the moment. But we will fix that so we can see what people are saying.
We have an Alpha Rampage coming in. So intimidate.
Yep. This is what I'm talking about. The 6s, always the 6s. And it's so sad being a brute player, seeing you roll away all your 6s, even if that's not how dice work, but you know.
Do we usually see scab skins used a lot in this matchup?
No. I mean,
used for the bling.
Yeah, you start using your scab skins at the end if you're losing. I think at the moment the only matchup where you roll scab skins and hope to get something good is against Prism.
Right.
If you can pop 2 auras. But Reiner's problem is still that, like, rolling scab skins and then having resources to swing with 2 things that's going to cost 2 to destroy some auras that cost 0. It's okay.
Another Fate Foreseen?
Yep.
See if Tobias is going to decide to put this back on the top or put it on the bottom. He's putting on the top, back on the top. So blocking 7, taking 3, 2.
Yep.
Stefan is a bit questionable how much damage we're taking.
Yeah, I mean, Stefan is good at pushing through a little bit of damage, but I don't think it's going to be enough right now.
No, he needs to have a leap going into the second cycle, but
28, 26 is still good. And here it comes. The cold hammer.
No, it's a worm, right? He pitched the disable.
Yeah, then it's... Oh, yeah, the worm hammer. Sorry. That's what I meant. Yeah, it's very interesting. I think I saw an Arg Smash in Stefan's hand, which means that he has probably had to sideboard at the Inyas to have another 3 block.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So we save this whole hand, so this is going to be another Alpha Rampage?
Another Alpha Rampage with the Massacre. So that's Intimidate, Intimidate, and Intimidate. Yeah, so they're rolling which card to keep. This is good. This is good damage through.
Yeah.
But still, like, up until you get down to like 21 life total, it like the race is not super important.
And he had
it's
to block with the Spinal Crush. That's
ooh,
decent.
yeah. I get
That's
those.
hopefully something he wanted to keep for later.
Yep.
So the question is if he has any attack cards left in hand after this. He has a Starve activation.
Yeah. Oh no.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And he had a Spinal Crush in Arsenal, right?
Yeah, this is harsh.
This is not good.
Yeah. And we can't really see Stefan's cards. I don't remember if he still sits on that unmovable in Arsenal. But then you want a blue card too, because Tunic is only on one.
Yes. Unfortunate timing here for Stefan.
Yeah. Also, unfortunate cameras for both players. We sorry for that. We premiered the light to be good on the table, so it's very like white splashy.
The players are just a bonus at this point.
Yep.
Okay, so we're deciding it's a dominate attack, so we're gonna block with one card from hand.
Yep. Yeah,
And
he
it's
had a
red and
blue.
movable.
Yep. So blocking for 11.
And then coming in for a Frosty 4.
Yep.
Classic. It's going to be interesting to see what the next meta cycle is going to be, as Starvo has reached Living Legend and it's going to be banned out for the next set.
For sure. I mean, the interesting part there too is like, is Shane going now? Will we have enough Shane wins during the ProQuest?
I believe he has 22 left going into this weekend.
Yeah.
And he got 26 in total last weekend. So
yep.
He's looking he's looking hot for that one.
So what do you think? Which are going to be the top heroes? Not counting the new ones, obviously, because we're getting a refill. But
you mean going into the next meta or meta cycle, or what you mean? I think we're still going to see Prism rising up as a Starvo is going to be disappearing, and also if Shane disappears, that's going to leave a lot of legroom for Prism, which is going to mean that the decks that are going to come in to hunt on that Prism is going to rise up. So probably some aggro decks like Katsu or Dash are probably going to be coming right up.
I think Briar is going to have a pretty strong position.
For sure.
I think Briar is just like just under top tier right now.
Yes. I wonder if the barraging beatdown was alright going into this club. It's a bit of a...
I mean, you're forcing out a card.
True.
So you're intimidating one.
Right.
And if you hit the correct card, that can be devastating for the Starvo turn.
Right.
If they need to block out with that card. But otherwise, it's like...
But they got the simple left in hand, so it didn't really... It didn't hit. Okay, so we have a Fate Foreseen in hand on Stefan's side.
Yep. But they're trading good. This can go either way.
Yeah, it's going to be the second cycle that's going to determine.
Yeah, and that's going to be a pain for Reinar. The interesting part with the Reinar deck, though, and we saw that a little bit in the Levia list that came up too, like most players, when you play the more grindy game, are adding more and more of the the 3 pitch that just intimidate. So that deck played 3 Awakening Bellow and 3 High Roller. And now with the new decks that came out, the classic battles, you have the new Bellow that just intimidates.
The new Bellow.
Yeah. So potentially you can play 9 blues that just intimidate, 6 of them costing 0. So you can get into the end game turns where you don't have dominate, but you can just play your hand out and intimidate as much as possible and come through with it. So pitch stacking is starting to become more and more important for Reinar too.
And speaking of pitch stacks, Stefan just had to re-roll his deck, so whatever he managed to pitch in there.
Oh, but he hits a beast within. This is pure gas. Oh, Arc Smash, okay.
Alright.
Yeah.
So taking 2?
Yep. That's less than 16.
Man.
Yeah, that was the same armory where we had our game, and I had a reckless swing in hand, but also was on 1 life and had the beast within. We were like, oh no, rules. What happens here?
I think we spent a good 20 minutes trying to figure out.
I mean, I think you and I spent 5 minutes in total, and then the rest of the room spent like 20 minutes arguing with each other. Calling Joel, our judge today.
Our local head judge.
Yep.
Who's also judging here today.
Yep. Okay. Pack Hunt. Good card. It's a 6. It intimidates. It costs 2. This is what we like.
So we have 2 cards to hand to defend with.
Yep.
Is that an Oakenol? Maybe I saw. And he's not going to block. Interesting. He's taking 6.
Yeah.
Now this is interesting. What is going to come back with? Something huge here now.
We will see.
Here we go. Swing big as well.
Nice.
Oh,
Tobias taking 8.
Tobias has already committed to not take any damage this turn, so this is quite detrimental. He's committing a lot into this hand.
Yep. But Tobias is also extremely good at pitch stacking. We've seen this so many times, so he might have, like, you know, the best hand ever right now. We'll see. Okay.
I mean, he was one of the players going into the last Pro Tour in New Jersey, so...
Yeah. He ended up on 34th place in total.
Yes.
Yeah. So
we have the Starvo fused Oakenol coming in for 11, is it?
Yep. Yay.
Yay, dominate.
Yeah.
But did he fuse the... Yeah, he did. Okay.
Yeah.
So double fused Oakenol is probably the best Starvo ability, or like Starvo chain.
Yep.
to
yeah, this is gonna hurt. Gonna throw some equipment.
We don't have anything in Arsenal that we can block with extra either, so this is gonna hurt, yes.
And this is the problem going up against Tobias, because he probably knows what his next 4 cards is gonna be. So if you don't, if you don't stop the Oakenol here, it might be over.
So it's just damage control on Stefan's point, as he cannot defend the whole stack that he needs in order to avoid the discards here.
But still losing cards.
No, it's not discard, it's going bottom of deck.
Bottom of deck. Yep.
Yes, bottom of deck, here we go. And he can choose which order he wants.
Yep.
But he took 6.
Yep.
So it's down to 10. But we didn't have enough for a hammer. So
interesting.
Oaken. Very interesting.
Oh, maybe he wants to keep the cards in hand because he knows that he has the Starway ability again, because the Oakenol was in addition to the rest of the cards.
Exactly.
So if he has another Oakenol in Arsenal, or if he knows that
he's
an
committing to this hand as well. He's taking it. So he's going down to 4.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a home stretch now if he lines everything up correctly.
I think it mostly depends on if Stefan is drawing an unmovable now. See.
Yeah, double fuse. Oh, this is so good. Tobias is showing the highest level of Starro plays here.
And there we have the new Bellow card. the blue 0 cost Intimidate.
That we're not going to see.
That we're not going to see.
Probably. Okay, so we're coming in for another 11.
Yeah.
And Stefan has more life, so the Arcanine Skull Cap is not going to be activated. It's only blocking for 1 at this point.
Yeah, it's harsh. It's real harsh.
But he still decides not to block with it, so he's hoping maybe to get below Tobias at some point so he can get the extra block capabilities there.
But still, losing these cards. I'm still in camp. Errata Oakenol, make it a old him specialization, and we wouldn't have had these problems all season, but yeah.
No, but I mean, it's still going to require a good player in order to pivot this type of stack to get this type of hands
for sure.
Back to back.
For sure.
I wouldn't expect any player to just come up with this back to back, but for sure.
But it is Bravo playing 6 Crippling Crushes, basically.
Yes, that's quite... Okay, so now Stefan is below Tobias, so he can now block 2, but he decides to take 2 and take the Frostbite at least, so he's down to 1.
Yep.
Which is interesting.
But this is where you draw. You have a Reckless Wing in hand. You arsenal your Reckless Wing. You draw another one, and then you just pass over. Unfortunately, Crown can
but he
save.
only has one card left in hand,
Yeah.
so we're just going to come in with a club here.
Yep.
But 4 is still lethal, so he needs to fully block, not fully block, but he
Yep.
still need to block something. So he's going down to 2, right?
Yep. 2 is good territory for a certain card.
So.
But I think that Tobias knows that, and as long as he's keeping the Crown,
right,
he
can block that
yeah.
one.
Yep.
That's true.
But we'll see. Oh, wow.
Is this the third or confusing
Yeah.
turn? This is insane.
Come on, reckless, reckless.
This is insane.
Yeah, but now Stefan has the... But, oh, I think he has the unmovable, but only no blue, right?
So he needs to pitch 2.
No, he had
No,
a blue. Okay. Blocking for 10.
Is this fully blocking?
Yeah.
He's coming for 11.
No, he didn't have a starboard turn. He just fused it.
It's just a fused
Yep.
token. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so we live to see another turn.
Yep. We live to see another... Like Stefan is just hoping.
We have a barraging beat, so I'm going into a Rompen Club, it looks like.
Yep. A 5. Yep.
So we're coming for a club for 4.
Yep. I know we're not supposed to be biased, but go Reinar.
I mean, it's my partner up there, so I can't be unbiased at this point.
Okay.
Oh, we get a sink in hand.
Yep.
So it's a full block.
Yep.
And he decided to sink.
Yeah, I think so.
See if he has something good.
Come on, reckless swing.
No. We don't have
No,
it.
no.
We don't have it. But we have a blood rush though. But it's a little bit too late at this point because
Yeah.
this is gonna be detrimental.
But this is fine. It comes in for 9. It's not dominated. So blocking for 9, and then just swing club.
9 is the 3. Does he have a blue in hand?
No,
Does
we can
have
just
blue?
block with 3 cards. It's not dominated.
No, but he needs 2 to.
Yeah.
Yeah, blood rush is yellow, so.
Yeah, he can pitch away the blood rush. Oh, okay. All right. No, he might actually keep a 6 now because you want to be able to have the 6s. You can do the 2 damage with reckless. I
Yeah,
think
but if
that
it comes in for a Starvo now, it's GG.
no, not if reckless swing exists. If he draws a reckless swing now, he wins. Unless because Tobias doesn't have anything in arsenal.
Not right now, no.
No.
Oh no, he's not gonna have it either.
You know.
Mm.
So Stefan is digging for reckless,
Dig it, come on.
keeping his 6s. That's good.
We don't see how many cards they have left, but we can see that stack is very tiny.
Yep. We should have like a zoom in on Stefan's face to see if we can. No. Oh.
Aww. But it's just a Frosty 4.
Yep.
And we have a blood rush in hand.
But the problem is that the Frosty 4 is gonna be an arsenal card.
Can we somehow keep the blood rush in hand though?
Okay, block for 6. All right.
I mean, this game started really slow, but
Yeah.
now it's really exciting going into
So
the
coming in
last
for
couple
4,
of
and then we're gonna have a blood rush in arsenal. That's good. That's good stuff. Not sure if it is the right play though. If you have 2 reckless swings, you probably want a reckless in arsenal and a reckless in hand.
But that would have been the turn that Stefan would have been able to do something with Reckless Wing, because now he's going to have the arsenal.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to do everything he can to keep that arsenal.
Yeah, and that's why I think that if Stefan arsenals this blood rush now, he sets up himself to not be able to do the double reckless if he's playing that. Because if you have 2, then because you need 1 in arsenal because you don't want the chance to hit that with the first one.
Gotcha.
So
this is a hard block for Tobias. What's he gonna?
yeah.
He can still block with a 3 card and take 1. That doesn't really change much. Or does it? I mean, if he comes in with a Reckless Wing, he can only defend for 1, so he wants to keep his life total at 2 in order to survive a Reckless.
Yep. Yeah. No.
Oh, no, maybe.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
No, he goes down to 1. He, right?
No, he
No,
blocked 4.
yeah, it's the 3. Yeah, that's the... Okay. Yeah, Heaven's Claws block for 3. That's the generic one. Or not generic, but the one that doesn't do anything
Exactly.
besides attacking.
Yeah.
Coming for 7.
Where are your reckless wings?
Yeah, but this is a.
I will start sweating at this point.
But this is fine. This is a two card block, because he has a defense reaction.
Right.
So now he's just thinking on. Yeah.
Sucking the blood rush.
Yeah, because he already have a blood rush.
Yeah, exactly.
This. Oh my god! This might actually work.
This is gonna be an interesting turn. Unless.
Is a pummel? No. Oh, Art of Warfare +1.
Oh, no.
That is such a play. Oh my god.
No, GG. Stefan takes the beating of an Art of War. Wow. Okay, I would have expected a pummel.
Yep.
But an Art of War.
Yep.
That is quite an interesting tech. So what Art of War does, it gives, or you can basically choose 4 different options, and one of them are give +1 to your attacks, and it's an instant. So you can play that instant speed. And since Stefan has already committed the blocks,
we can go over here. Whoa.
Since Stefan has already committed the blocks, he already pushed the fate for scene. He probably didn't see that one coming.
Yeah. Yep.
And I wouldn't either.
Nope.
At that point, being down to 1 life is always detrimental, and everything can kill you.
What a nasty tech. But okay.
Oh well. So Tobias is then going to be 2-0
2-0,
going into round 3.
Mm-hmm. So this was the second round. We missed the first round because of some technical difficulties. We tried to make the cameras look as good as possible, all of that. I think we will go to a short break, and then we will upload some pie charts on the players.
Yes.
Okay.
See you back soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
No, we're not back.
You're not back.
No, wait. I mean, they can hear us. But we need to do this. And then here we are.
Great. So, round 3.
Yep.
We have the players setting up and soon ready to go. So we have 2 players that are 1-1 currently. We have a Briar versus Bolton.
Bolton? Wow. That's
we have
interesting.
1 Bolton player. We have, I think, 3 Briar players. So they are
We
quite
can
fast.
push this one and we can check. What?
There we go.
All right. So 1 Bolton and 3 Briars, yeah.
So
What
we
do
have
you
also 3 Dorothea players. That's quite interesting.
And 3 Bravo players?
Yes.
All right.
We have 3 Shane, that's quite standard, and only 2 Starvos in this meta, so a very interesting mix-up. We have 1 Lexi also.
Yeah.
1 Kano. We typically have 1 go-to Kano player playing from Uppsala, but he decided to go Shane today.
All right.
So yeah, local meta is very local.
Yeah. Do you know what Jocke played, our Kano player? Do you know what he played yesterday? Because I think he was playing on in Trollhättan. Yeah, no, neither do I. I think he might have been on Kano yesterday, and then he's trying Shane today.
Maybe.
He said after last week that he was not going to play Kano, but I think that was because he lost against Asilia when I played her.
Right. No, but I think for Kano these days, I think people in our local meta respect Kano because they know we have those go-to Kano players in our local meta.
Yeah, for sure.
You would be stupid to come into our local armories and not bring your null runes. And if you bring your null runes, you're gonna have a much better time.
Yep, for sure. But all right.
Next match, we have Bolton versus Briar. So Briar is the new and improved channel Mount Heroic Briar. So it's going to be a very much faster-paced game this time around.
Yep. We can jump over to them, I think. See what's going on there. Whoop! Oh wow.
Interesting green screen tilt we have here.
Yeah, that's not how we want it. Let's see if we can fix that though.
Very beautiful Bolton display hero we have here on Rickard's side of the table. So on the top hand side we have Rickard, who is playing Bolton, and on the bottom side we have Matthias from Uppsala playing Briar.
Yeah, and that's our green screen.
There you go.
Yeah, we should.
Oh, he had green sleeves. That's
why. We need to remember to turn that back on when we go into our casting view, otherwise we're going to have a pretty green background.
I mean, we have quite a professional setup here, if I ask myself. We have the green screen, we have the player cams, we have the live counters and everything. It's very supreme. And a lot of hours of work have gone into setting this up.
Yes. I think that we will fix the template for this setup and make it so it's easier to do with webcams in general. And then I'm thinking of just sharing that to the community. Because like the way you can turn on the heroes and stuff like that, I'm gonna tidy it up, make it a little bit more nice. But then, if you have a stream deck and you have some webcams, you should be able to replicate an easier version of this.
Yeah. But I mean, this is the first time we're doing this type of setup, so I mean, I'm pretty impressed by how far we managed to get everything up and running. We unfortunately missed the first game, so this is round number 3.
Yep.
Before this, we had Starvo versus Reiner.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice. So going into the third round, it's going to be Briar versus Bolton. None of us have really played a lot of Bolton. Me, myself, and I have quite a lot of hours on Briar. It's one of my mains.
Yep.
I'm a Runeblade main overall. But it's going to be a much faster-paced game than the one we saw in round 2 there.
For sure. I would guess the Bolton build is the Sabers and going for Lumina Ascension combo.
For sure.
I mean, I think there's a viable Bolton build where you just go with good cards in general, trying to give them a little bit of a boost so you can give the go again. But it's almost there. It's almost there. But yeah.
Snapdragons is quite an interesting choice.
No, that's for the combo. Because the turn you combo away, you need to charge. And there's only a couple of the cards that let you charge that also has go again. So on most turns, if you want to pop off your Luminas, you need to have the go again.
Yes.
So that's why the snaps are there.
So we don't know who's starting, so that's going to be an interesting first choice. But here we have the equipment reveal.
Yep. Pretty standard equipment on Briar's side.
Definitely.
and a hood. The hood is an interesting choice, though.
What else are you having in the head slots?
I mean, you can have...
Skull cap, right?
Yeah, skull cap or the, what's it called, the crown.
The crown.
The one that lets you put cards in soul. Halo of illumination.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
I was like, crown of seeds, what?
No, it looks like a crown. It is an halo.
True. Okay, so we have a Nimblism into a Bramble Spark, and that's just going to give us a lightning search token, so that's just a really pleasant start here from Briar, as you don't want to give your opponent the chance to cycle your hand in the first round, so giving you the first double non-attacks into the lightning search is a really good start for our Briar.
Yeah, let's see. Hello again, Sophie. Now we can actually see chat. Woo! We had Fiendal's library popping in a little bit earlier.
Very neat, very well done. We did some pushes on the socials, so hoping we can get some audiences here today on this nice, lovely Sunday here in Stockholm.
Yeah, for sure. But we'll see. We're probably gonna edit all of these gameplay sessions later on and release them on the channel if people just want to watch the high-level play at the end of the tournament.
For sure. The last time we see this type of meta, essentially.
Yeah, for sure.
We also have next weekend coming up. We have 2 ProQuests going on in Sweden. We have Karlstad in the center of Sweden on Saturday, and we have Uppsala north of Stockholm, just north of Stockholm, on Sunday. Yeah.
And today we're here at Dragon's Lair, which is the biggest central store in Stockholm.
Yeah. It's a big old Magic the Gathering hub.
Yes.
And also now Pokemon has become very, very huge in this center. Okay, so we have an Exude Confidence coming in for 7.
Yep.
What's interesting with Exude is that you cannot use defense reactions unless you block with something that has more attack than the Exude, and since it's coming in for 7, it's going to be quite a nifty block. It's not going to be possible, really, but...
Yep. No, I mean, Boltyn's attacks are, if you play the combos, you play mostly with light cards, then you're like 4.
But it looks like you have a Fate Foreseen in hand, so his plans to use that is going to be difficult.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, so the defensive capabilities of Boltyn are not great. In the beginning of the game, when you go for the combo, you need to block out a little bit, because you also want to cycle your hand. So you can sideboard in your defense reactions. They're not going to help you a lot when it comes to the combo turn.
Yep.
But you also have Soul Shield probably somewhere there for the big attacks. But yeah, the Boltyn deck is basically biding time. You want to have, it's 3 cards in Soul, I think, to be able to pop off.
At least, yeah.
Yep.
So let's see if we're going to block something out of the Exude here.
Yeah.
We have the Embodiment of Lightning, so it's going to have a go again. No blocks. No reactions, so we're going to take the 7.
All right.
That's going to give the Embodiment of Earth. Great catch there by Matthias. Saying Matthias in English is very...
Matthias.
Yeah, but that's Swedish.
But we're in Sweden, we can say Matthias.
That's true. I'm just losing that English flow. Okay. Was that a Ravenous Rabble? Yes.
Yep. Yes, we do have our extra technician that keeps on trying to raise our volume here that we don't want, because then we can't hear anything.
So the Ravenous Rabble, you reveal the top card, and whatever pitch value it has, it's going to give the Ravenous Rabble the minus equal to that pitch value. So apparently Matthias unfortunately drew a blue, so it's just going to come in for 2 here, which is unfortunate.
But
that
is
what you want to see.
Yeah.
Briar play.
But I mean, you're playing quite a lot of blues in the Briar deck these days, because you're probably going Mount Heroic.
Exactly.
And I think that the Rabble is still there, because on a Mount Heroic turn, coming in for 5 go again, even if you hit a blue. Pretty decent.
We've also seen quite a lot of Briar builds now trying to go into Belittle Minnowism type of play, which is also interesting.
Yep.
But this looks to be more of a standard lightning based Shanna Mount Heroic build that we see here from Matthias.
Yep.
Gonna finish up with a Stick, as Christopher likes to call it.
Pinnen, yes.
The most powerful weapon in the game.
Yeah, definitely.
But now with the new Erratas, as soon as Briar is going to hit Living Legend, that weapon is going to go sync with her, basically.
I'm experimenting with a Viserai deck that is not playing the Rosetta right now. It's going to be quite interesting, and people are going to say that it's wrong, but we'll see. We'll see.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Yep.
So we decided to put the Fate Foreseen into the Soul.
Does Erika still need more volume?
That was a question.
I wonder, is this your volume?
No, I'm number 2. No, wait.
I think that this...
Now I became louder.
Yeah, exactly. This is the problem, that we have our second-hand technician trying to flip up the wrong sound. Yeah.
So here we are.
Yep. All right, I see one Lumina in hand.
There you go. So we're going to start with a Sonata here. We're going to pitch one.
Yep.
In order to get 4 cards out of this one. So if we're lucky, we have 2 non-attacks, 3 non-attacks going into an Overload.
Yep.
And the Overload is quite juicy. It has Dominate coming in for 3, which is an easy block. But if you can pump it up with a Nimbleism or the Shadowmount Heroic, it's going to come in for 6 Dominate. So
yep.
It can be a really nice way to push some damage through. As Briar doesn't typically have a lot of Dominates elsewhere.
Yep.
Much better. Thank you, Athlon.
Okay, so we have one Lumina in hand. Do we have one in
one
Arsenal?
Arcane that is coming in from the Sonata that I think Rikard is debating whether he wants to do something about. But we have the 3 souls.
Yeah. Here we go. We build a Soul Shackle. All right. Still
so it's just a
tiny bit higher. Let's see.
I'm going to be deaf off this one. So we have the Swarming Glue. We have just created 1 aura this turn from the Rune Chant, so it's just going to come in for 3 go again.
Yep.
Swarming Glue is such a nice tech into Briar because on hit it will create the embodiment of Earth. So if it's coming in for a naked 3 without the go again and you create, you hit it and you create an embodiment of Earth, it will actually trigger the go again. And
we call it Runeblade shenanigans.
Exactly. So a little bit of read up on what Briar does.
Is it the new Erratad card? No, it's not. It's a foiled one.
I think we've gotten those.
Yeah.
We should hand them out soon.
Yep. I have a couple of them that I got from LSS when we were in New Jersey.
Ah, right.
So
they handed them out there as well?
Yeah. Nice. If you need one, remind me.
No, but I think they got like 20 for each armory, not armory,
cool.
each location here in Stockholm, so they should be handing them
Perfect.
out. I think it's the double-sided one as well,
yeah,
so that's
it is. Yep.
Pretty.
Yeah, no, I talked to Ian Kenderdine, the one of the Brute players that was on stream. He played Levia, and we started talking and hanging a bit, talking about Brutes, and he had gotten a bunch of it. He's used to work for LSS, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
So he was hanging around in their booth quite a lot. Right, we're charging Soul.
With a sync.
Yep.
Using all of the defense reaction to go into Soul, that's also a way to go.
Yeah, I mean, if you can have a good turn, this might be Lumina from Arsenal. No, we're gonna look for a Lumina. Yeah, there's a lot of calculations going on right now. So, banishing 1 card from Soul means that he can look for a action that costs 1 from his deck. He's also popping snaps, so he has to go again. So this would be a Lumina into a Lumina.
Nice.
And then we're gonna pop off with the Courage, so all those swords will be free, and we're gonna have a lot of small scimitars coming in.
So damage incoming is basically what we're facing here.
Yeah. Yep.
And unfortunately for Matthias, he doesn't have the embodiment of Earth, so however he is going to try to block this turn out is not going to be very efficient, as Briar mostly sits on 2 blocking cards.
Yep. And you don't really want to block with the attacks, because then the Sabers are getting +1 and Bolton is giving them +1, so then they're gonna be +2. Lumina with triple Lumina, yeah, this is I think this is over quickly.
Triple Illumina on turn. What is this? 3? Turn 3?
3 or 4 or 5, I think. But yes, it's still. Yeah, it should be turn 5, right? Because he's charged Soul 5.
Exactly. He pushed the sync.
Yeah. So I think turn 5.
Yes. So he's coming in for 5. And so do you want to remind the people what Lumina does?
So Lumina Ascension basically says that you can attack an additional time with your weapon. It also... you need to have charged before. And then it basically stacks times 3 now, so you can attack so many times with these sabers. And Courage lets you swing your swords for
free.
1 less. But yes, they cost 1, so...
True.
Not much you can do when they draw triple Lumina. No, it's very true, Ethlon. It's harsh.
A really nice play here by Rickard. I mean...
Yeah, showing that Combi Bolton still has some power. I think that the Bolton players will be delighted in the new meta we're going into, because if we don't have Starvo anymore, Dash is gonna be way better again, and Dash is so bad against Bolton. It's ridiculous.
Right.
Because it's mostly attacks in the entire deck. So now, since he's charged, if he hits with an attack, he gets to charge again, charge Soul again, or put a card from the top of his deck into Soul, and he gains a life for each life card.
Yes.
Yeah.
So even though he's down on 23 right now, that's gonna change.
Yeah.
Momentarily.
And Bolton's ability is that if you're attacking with a weapon or an attack in general that has more power than its base power, you can spend one of your cards in your Soul to gain Go again. So this is how this combo works.
And Matthias is realizing that he's
in
the bucket.
It's gonna be
he's in a really tough situation right now.
Yep.
So he's trying to calculate what is his best options in order to come out of this alive, but with 30 HP to go and at least 4 or 5 attacks.
So what you can try to do is you can try to block the initial sword sinks to stop Bolton getting more cards into his Soul, because then you might be. But I think that Rickard has calculated this, and I think this is enough. It's gonna be a
charge. Can we go in and
so he has a dice to show how many times he swings with the sword.
That's nice.
Yep.
Okay, so that blocks the whole 5, the first one.
Yep. Yeah, and remember, this is 5. This is the base damage that these sabers.
He took the second one, so he took 5.
Yep, and then there's 3 cards. All of them light cards, all of them going into Soul.
This is
That's
nasty.
Plus 3 life for Rickard. Yep.
Wow.
And if he ever blocks with an attack action card, it's plus 2. Yes, it's 7.
So it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't type of situation going in here.
And I think that Rickard knew that he kind of needed to have the triple Lumina, because if Matthias would be sitting on a hand with a lot of non-attack actions, then there is a possibility he can block out 2 at least and survive.
He takes the 3rd hit, and Rickard finds another 3 light cards going into 29.
And the combo deck after it's popped off is not super hard to deal with. So if you can survive the Lumina turn, then sure, you can do things. But you're also going to gain so much life from the combo turn. Oh wow, here we have some misses. So 1 card. So slice and dice and another.
So we basically flipped the. now Rickard is on the 30 that Matthias started on in this round.
Yep.
So second saber now coming in for 5.
Yep.
We have 1 more swing on it.
It comes in for 5. We have this is the first swing, so we have 3 more swings with that saber.
Yeah, he didn't break the chain, did he?
No, you don't need to. That's the best part of this.
So he can't block with the Skull Cup.
No.
So. And he can't block with Grasp of Dark Knight either,
I mean, it depends on what the player said. You can break the chain. And
you can, but you don't, right?
No.
So you can't, because he blocked with Grasp of Dark Knight on the 1st hit, he blocked with Dark Knight Skull Cup on the 3rd hit, so he can't block with them at this point.
Yeah, it's very true.
So I think that's
what
they're trying to figure out now.
Yeah. I think that they might be discussing that maybe.
Yeah, because you block with those on the first, and yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, the only block he has left is the Fiendal that's blocked from one. So it's a very poor man's defense at this point.
Yep.
We're gonna get some fancy tech going right here.
Yeah, let's see if we can. We should be able to see Lumina Ascension here, because I was just wondering. No, it's until end of turn, so you can actually break the chain.
Right.
Yeah. So that would be the Lumina Ascension.
So he decided to take the hit.
Yeah.
No blocks. Taking 5, going down to 12.
Yep.
We find... Was it 2 or 3? 2.
Yeah. And this event is casual rules enforcement, right?
Yes.
So if this was a mistake, breaking the chain, that's not gonna... Since you can break the chain here and still do this, I don't think any judge would say anything different.
No. So is this gonna be the last one, or...?
No, I think he has attacked twice. This is gonna be the third time he attacks with it.
He's gonna stack his hero with these guns. It's like, oh.
Yeah, and I mean, Rickard is on 32 plus 2 life right now, right? So 34.
Insane. But I mean, if you get lucky, you get lucky, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, standard bolt-in shenanigans.
Yep. It is a combo deck. It does what it does. And when it can pop off, it does it very well.
So, how are we gonna get out of this alive?
So we have
That's
one.
what Matthias is debating right now.
Yeah, but he has cards in hand still, and this is the third swing.
So this is the last swing.
This is the third. You have 4 swings.
Oh, you have 4 swings.
1 and 1 extra per Lumina Ascension.
Right.
Per sword.
So it's 4 per sword.
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha. So we're gonna block fully and give it a bump, basically.
Yeah, so it goes up to 7.
Oh, is it per attack action?
No. But Boltin's ability itself does the same thing.
Right.
So can
bring up Bolt into the screen, please.
Yes. There we go. So he has the same thing. If you charged, he basically have the same ability built in.
Defended by an act action.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the sabers themselves say the same thing.
So now it's gonna come in for the 4th swing, and it's gonna come in for 6.
Yep.
And Matthias is down to 5, and he's not gonna be able to block that one. Oh, and he's on a
Oh,
short Gordian Tome,
no!
and it doesn't block for anything.
Oh, wow.
That's unfortunate.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. It's rough.
It's harsh. It's really harsh. But this is what the deck does, right?
Wow.
So, yeah.
So,
That
Boltin meta.
That was Boltin, everyone. Boltin is really cool. And I think that depending a little bit on how the next supplementary set is going to be built. Because this one, we got something from all the heroes, but we didn't get anything for the talents.
Nope.
So probably the next one, pure speculation from me here, but probably the next one is coming with that. So if that would be, it supports the elemental types, it supports light and shadow, and it would support draconic.
Right.
Then we might see new light attacks.
There you go.
That helps the light warrior. And if you read the background story, it looks a little bit like the Dorinthia is going to awaken as a light hero too.
That's the story with the new classic battles.
Yeah.
I think I already went halfway through that.
Not the classic battles, that's more like her core when she's young.
Gotcha.
But the latest one they had on the page before they started doing this Islander journey thing, they have a battle outside of Solana. And she kind of like goes Super Saiyan or something and light stuff all around her. And I think that that's probably where we're going. Do we want to go into a small break, fix our green screen so we can talk a little bit, and then we'll be back before the next game?
Sounds good.
All right.
We'll fix some technicalities, and we'll see you back again soon with round number 4.
Yeah, see ya. Bye. All right.
Sound on. Check.
Yes. Let's do a little bit of fixing because I see that someone has hit our camera. So
hit our camera.
Yeah, someone pushed the camera so you can see a little bit of our screen here. And I don't want that. So we'll be right back. All right.
There we go.
Yes. I have heard that we can fix a little bit here so we don't have to hear each other so super loud in these ones.
Testing.
Ooh, testing. It's way nicer, right?
It's way nicer.
Yeah. Cool. So welcome back, everyone. We were just thinking that we're going to sit here, talk a little bit.
So it's about 10-15 minutes until the next round starts. It's going to be round 4.
Yep.
So...
Yeah,
kill some time.
If we have bolting games that takes 10 minutes, then we need to figure out what to do. We can check a little bit on the standings, I guess. Where are we here? So after round 2,
if we go into
here.
this one, just checking.
How's it going here?
Okay, so they're still processing round 3. We're waiting for one more game to be added in.
We see that Tobias that we had on the stream has won over
against
the
Christopher, who is our old and gold Shane main.
Yep.
Who's also playing Shane today.
And also our Swedish champion.
Because, that's right.
Yeah, we haven't had nationals yet. Andre Pankhurst on Shane, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. Has also won.
It's the final ProQuest. They can probably duke Shane out, so they probably won't miss that opportunity, right?
What is Andre gonna do? He's played Shane since Shane was a thing.
Since Shane was born.
Yeah.
Good question. Maybe Briar is a good swap out.
I saw someone having like the next level strats, which is that Shane, bound by Shadow, is gonna be living legend.
Yeah.
But Shane, young Shane, is not in CC.
Wasn't it a couple of people running young heroes in the ProQuest last week?
So that's what you do. That's what you do. And when Shane rotates out into living legend, then Seeds is unbanned. So you can play young Shane with Seeds.
That is interesting. Interesting.
It's really weird.
Tech.
We will check the standings a little bit when everything is in, so we'll see how the round looks going into round 4. And for people that are watching at home, we did miss round 1 on stream because of setting up the tech.
But we can show the hero distribution.
Whoop!
Ta-da!
There we are.
So people can get a glimpse of what the local meta here in Stockholm, Sweden looks like, including, of course, some of the people traveling in from all over the country.
Yep.
Probably some, I think the one traveled furthest today is from Gothenburg.
Yeah.
Which is literally on the other side of the country.
Yeah, the other side of the country when it comes to like the sides of Sweden is not that far away, but it's also very far down.
Yes, it's very tall.
Yeah.
So Sweden is on the east coast and Gothenburg is on the west coast. So it's probably a 5-hour ride.
Sweden is on the east coast.
Stockholm, sorry.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Sweden, Stockholm.
Same thing.
Yeah, unpopular opinion. But yeah. So while we're doing that, do you want to open some boosters?
Do we have boosters?
We do have boosters.
We have boosters.
So it's the same thing. We open a booster each, and the one who gets like the best thing. I went up to, so we're here at Dragon's Lair. I went up to Johan up in the desk and like, what kind of boosters do you have? And I think these are the most exciting ones.
What do you want to get?
The heart. No pressure.
The heart of Fjandal. No pressure. Okay.
If we're gonna open
someone opened the fabled Everfest card that I always forget what it's called. Grandeur of
Valai. Something like that, yeah.
I got a quicken. Do I win?
I don't know.
I got a bubble.
I have a flock, so we can use that quicken.
I also got a flock.
All right. So bubble, just useless.
Don't throw cards at me.
Sorry. Very hostile. Okay.
I have a potion of strength.
We'll see. So we have some iron rods. Oh, there's the camera. What's behind the iron rods? What? Overpower. Okay.
Brute action card for 5.
I have a majestic.
Tomofjälldahl, here we go.
Nice.
Okay, so we got the Savage Feast and a shiny Debilitate.
Yeah, I have a shiny blue Surging Strike.
Upside down.
Yeah. Not that much interesting after that.
Niet. You win.
Okay, so 1-0.
Yep.
Another one.
Another one.
Yeah. When you're at the gaming store, utilize the fact that you can just buy boosters.
I think your ritual when you come into a game store is always buy at least a couple booster packs and
yeah, to support, right?
Right.
Wow, tome. I needed one of tomes.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Now I place that. The token is another cracked bauble.
Another quicken.
All right. So a lot of. I'm back on. Ironrod.
I also got the Heisen Peak last time, I believe.
Behind.
We got a Savage Feast again.
Blackout Kick blue, the best.
We have another rare and another common.
I have another rare. The rare is
Snatch.
Red Snatch. Not bad.
I got the triple rare.
Okay, okay. We will see. We will see. Okay, I think you win that one on a triple rare.
The triple rare.
Yeah, right.
The shiny blue Steel Bay Shunt was quite a delight.
Yeah.
Ooh, we got a game.
All right.
We have...
No more booster opening.
We have Old School Bravo coming up.
Yes.
And we have a Briar on the other end.
All right.
Interesting.
Cool, cool, cool. We will set up for that game and we will be back with you very soon then.
Don't go anywhere. And that is sound.
Yeah, we're back.
Welcome back. We have a game.
Yeah, we do have a game.
So interestingly, we have Old School Bravo showing up today.
Yeah.
So on the bottom hat side, we have Bravo, the old school showstopper, played by Jacob, who is quite new into the Flesh and Blood community here in Stockholm.
Yep.
And he has been quite successful finding a good strength now in this Bravo. And on the other hand side, we have Albert, who is traveling here from Karlstad today, I believe. And
correct.
He's playing Briar, his old trusty Briar.
Yep. So I hope that we will see one of his 3 Mount Heroics, because I have a story. But we'll see when we comes to it, if we come to it. Otherwise, I'll spill the beans after this game.
Do it. So
what do you think about the matchup? It seems like Bravo
Old School Bravo is like Starvo, but the light version of the Starvo. We don't have those crazy Starvo turns typically, as you come in with a huge big attack and you come in with the hammer for 4. Instead, you typically have your big standard attacks, and you also push in a lot of defense reactions to push for hopefully a fatigue type of game where you play hugely defensively into late game where you come back with your big ass turns. And for Briar that is bad news, because Briar is an aggro deck that tries to push as much damage as humanly possible. So Jacob's strategy here is probably going to be to just cover as much damage as possible and try to counter late game and fatigue.
Or like hit with those really nasty on-hit effects, the crush effects during those key turns for the mountain.
I mean, a Tira Thunder hammer is not bad by any means.
Tower number 9, welcome to the chat. I don't know exactly when we got those messages. Dorinthia hype for sure, especially after the new classic battles. I really want to test my deck.
Ooh, we have a Shadow Mount Heroic on turn 1.
Yeah, but it's the wrong mountain. It's not the one I got a story about.
I see. Okay, so we have a Lightning Surge coming in for 7.
Yep. That's harsh though. Like immediately going into the mount.
But it didn't come from Arsenal because it is his first turn, so he's going to Arsenal. No, he's going to Lightning Press it. That's nasty.
Okay.
So bumping it up to 10.
Yep.
Turn up to 11. And we have a sink to follow. Whoa.
3 damage.
Good job. So I mean, this is what it's at. Like, you defend with what you got and add defense reaction accordingly. The idea is that you want to prevent as much card draw from Briar as humanly possible, like the Snatch and the Forest.
Force of nature.
Thank you.
Yeah, we should prepare.
We have a manual layover in order to get the cards on screen, but it looks kind of dank.
There we go.
I must say so myself.
Yeah.
So the Force of Nature is whenever you boost a card, if that card hits, you get to draw a card. So combination with that with Shadow Mount Heroic is of course quite detrimental.
Yep.
But this is just a standard Shadow Mount Heroic turn, so no biggie. We have a Pulverize though coming in from Jacob here. Solid, is it 14?
Yeah.
With the Bravo on it, so it's a 14 dominate.
And it's gonna give the first attack -4, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that's negate 1 Mount Heroic go again attack, but yeah. Well. Yeah, I feel like next time we do a stream like this, we should probably have like one person who can bring up the cards for us.
Yes.
On the side. But we can fix that, yeah.
But I mean, this is our first stream, and I'm still quite amazed with the technologies we have going here with the live counters automated and everything. So, I mean, it's looking really good.
Still waiting for someone to use the function where you hold the live counter.
Right.
So because it's actually going to transition into this.
So we're using a live counter on an iPad that we're then casting into our stream setup. So we get the live updates from the players themselves.
Yep.
So we have a Sonata.
Yeah.
That is buffed, so we're gonna push 4 cards here. We have 2 attacks, 3 attacks.
No!
We have 4 attacks! It's gonna miss!
It's a classic Albert whiff.
Also classic Erica whiff, because I always do that. It's insane. So typically when you set up a Briar deck, you want to have a 50-50 go, so you get the maximum value out of these Sonatas, because getting 2 cards out of those Sonata turns where you buff it with 1 pitch is quite good.
And then usually on Briar you don't need, like you can use those 2 resources that you have floating, one for the Rosetta and one for something else, if you have an attack that actually costs something, but most of the time you don't.
So we only had 1 pitch going into Earth there for the Shadow Mount Heroics. It's going to break, but we do have a lightning, our embodiment of a lightning going into the next turn. The question is what Jacob is going to come up with next.
We create a Seismic Surge. Classic.
We have a disable, right? And do we have a Starvo going into something huge?
Probably.
Is that a crippling?
Yeah, it's a crippling.
It's a crippling.
It's a crippling.
So dominated 9, right?
Yep. No, is it 9? Isn't it 11?
Is it 11?
Crippling Crush is 11.
I always mix up Spinal and Crippling. let's bring up the card. It's 11.
Yep.
Turn up to 11. So it's an 11 dominate. And Albert is already down on 26 life compared to Jacob's 37, so he's not going great with a great start here for Jacob.
I mean, to be fair, playing Briar, you don't really care about the damage in this case. It's the discard that's gonna suck. But yeah.
But he's gonna take it.
Yep.
Let's randomize that discard. And compared to Oakenall, this is a complete discard, so these cards you won't see again.
Oh my god, and here we have the rolling too many. Need a D4, a big D4. Or a D8.
So which two cards are we going to see discarded? It's a Sonata and an Exude. That's all right. I mean, you probably wanted to keep the Sonata to get the non-attack action out there. But hopefully we have more in hand so we can come in with the 2-2 Rosetta.
Yeah.
So starting with the captain's call.
Yeah, gonna give something.
Since we can't hear the players, we don't know if it's go again or +2. But I'm gonna assume it's +2 since we're gonna come in with the.
Yeah, we already have an embodiment.
No, it's +2. Exactly.
Yeah, so.
Gonna come in for 5.
Yep.
We have one card in Arsenal left to be.
And Tunic is online, so we will have a poke.
Rosetta, at least.
With a stick.
With the stick. Poking with the stick.
It's a very lethal stick.
Very. But we do have a sink.
Yep.
It's going to block 4 at least. He decides to sink. And take 1.
Yeah.
I mean, sitting on 36 life at this point is quite comfortable.
For sure.
But it's going to give him the other embodiment of Earth.
Yep. And then we'll see. What do we have in Arsenal?
Ooh, it's the Revel! So that's going to create 4 rune shots, and it's going to pop the embodiment of lightning again, since the other embodiment of lightning was from last round.
Yep.
And this is nasty. Coming in for 8.
Yeah.
4 rune shots, and then 2 arcane from the Rosetta plus 2 physical. Yeah. So quite a good turnover here for Albert.
We should also point out the fact that Albert has chosen to play with white bordered.
But imagine how risky that play was, because if he discarded the wrong 2 cards, he wasn't going to be able to play the Revel.
Yeah.
So it was really lucky that he got to keep 1 attack and 1 non-attack.
Yep.
It was basically 50-50, right?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you need to be lucky too, especially when you get crippling crushed.
Indeed.
All right, yeah. This is a lot, but Jacob is sitting on so much life though.
Also note that he has double null.
Yep.
It's an interesting tech against Briar, because typically most players satisfy themselves with only 1 null rune, because typically the Arcane are going to take us from the rune chance or the Revels. But having 2 null rolls protects you from the deadlock game you can end up with in the late game, where you want to protect yourself from the 2 Arcane.
Oh my god, it's another crippling.
Oh god. But it's not dominated, right?
No.
He didn't show Bravo.
No.
So it's just 11 that he can protect himself from.
Yep.
So it's going to come in with both the Grasp and the Arc Knight. He has less life, so it's going to block for 4.
Yeah.
Or 2 from the Skull Cap.
Yeah, there is some armor. I think that, going back to your point about the null rune stuff too, I think that since Shane is so prevalent in this meta, you kind of want to sit on 2 anyway. Because Briar still goes Snapdragons most of the time, but Shane is gonna sit on those creepers, and when Shane pops off, you need to stop the creepers, because you're not gonna survive 2 turns of creeper.
No.
All right, we block.
Double soul tomorrow. Interesting.
6,
into the Skull Cap.
8.
So we're gonna protect ourselves from the crush effects.
Yeah.
And go down to 12.
Yeah. And I think Albert is calculating to keep some armor here too, because there is another crippling crush and it is on Jacob's hand.
No! Is this the Tobias game all over again with the triple Oaken instead of we have a triple Spinal Crush back to back? This is insane, Jacob. And an unmovable. But I mean, he can't play both the unmovable and the Spinal Crush, right? So he has to leverage himself. But he has so much HP at this point, so he can just take whatever comes his way at this point.
But he won't afford the crippling this turn, because he only has 1 blue in hand. Except so yeah.
Right. So then he can play the unmovable now if something big comes along.
Yeah.
But we did a lot of blocks with the Sotomaros, so we only have 2 cards in hand, right?
Yep.
Another read on the Briar ability here.
Yep. Even though that's the foiled token, so it definitely has the wrong text on it.
Yes, it's the non-errata version.
Yeah.
We're gonna go full block the Exude.
Yeah.
And then come in for a Scar we go again.
Yep.
But we don't have any pitch for the Rosetta, and we don't have a non-attack play, so it's not gonna be more than this.
Yeah.
But we're gonna take the 4. But then begs the question if we're just gonna see a hammer swing. Also interesting choice to use is it the Titan's Fists that he has?
Yeah.
Instead of the club?
Yeah. I guess he wants the shield against.
Oh yes, the one-handed one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's multiple attacks, then you
Gotcha.
shield it.
Oh, you can't pay for it anyway.
Okay.
God, I would just be crying if I was a Briar player at this point. This is just.
Yeah, but it's Albert, and he's like the nicest guy around, so he's laughing in this situation.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, you got so lucky. I'm not even mad. That is so luck.
Yeah, we'll see if we can recenter the webcam on Albert's side for next game. But
Definitely.
Like, I love his reaction. He's just like, yeah, sure, it's one of these games. The thing is that this is the last crippling crash.
That's the only. Yeah, but I mean, it's not the only big attack he has in his arsenal.
Sure.
Right? It's the spinal still.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any of those.
But it's this last crippling.
Yeah, and he's gonna try to block that much as possible to avoid the crush effect.
Yeah.
So we're gonna throw away some earth cards, which means he probably doesn't have a Shadow Mount Heroic on hand. Gonna come in with another last Exude, I believe.
Yep. The problem.
No go again. We have the Snapdragons though.
Yeah.
So we can solve that. He forgot the tunic.
Oh no.
No, he forgot the tunic.
We should have a. No, we shouldn't. But we
Does
could
that
have
mean
a
tilt?
we could have a counter for everyone. Like from the beginning of the stream, we should count every time someone forgot tunic, because Stefan forgot one time in the last game too. Yeah.
Aww. But I mean, tunic is such a easy missed opportunity because it's such a short window and it's so easy skippable when you sit there with your card and you have a plan.
Yeah.
And then tunic is the last thing you think about when you try to just memorize or keep in track of your plan.
And I think it's the hardest when you have like fully committed to a block or something. You have one card in hand, you know exactly what you're gonna do, and it's so easy to forget. But you need to get into the tunic mindset of like always look at your cards, think what you're gonna do, and then realize that you've forgotten the tunic.
Every time.
Okay, with lightning press, we still push some damage. I think Albert here is just trying to get the embodiment for extra block, and then trying to get a turn where Jacob is not swinging in with something super big.
Yep.
Because he needs one turn, he needs to set up a Mount Heroic, and then he needs to go.
Yeah.
But 9 life is...
But it's a really rough situation to be in. You don't want to be in a situation where you have to block with your cards as Briar, because it's such a poor man's block, essentially, in all the arsenals that we have. But we do get the Embodiment of Earth, so... I mean, that helps. I mean, it did help a lot more back in the day.
Not in this case, because it's still just one attack hitting.
But back in the day when you could just, for those who wasn't here, then it's every single attack that pushed through, you get a embodiment of Earth. So you could basically stack those for all the attacks that you did on your turn, which means you could sit on 3-4 Earth attacks, and you can have basically an unmovable for free.
I mean, the Briar deck was crazy when it came out.
Such an aggressive deck, but also very defensive.
Yep.
But now it's shit on defense, basically, and all we do is just rush. But at this point in time, sitting on 9 health is not fun.
It is as it should be.
It's true.
If you're playing aggressive, then you shouldn't block. I mean, you should block, but you shouldn't be good at blocking.
I haven't seen Titan Fist that much. Does it have any...
If you have a card with cost 3 or more in your pitch zone, you get +1 damage on it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we can pull it up here.
So it should come in for 5 then, or?
I think it comes in for 4.
So it's 3 standard?
Yeah. Okay. It's just a worse version than the elemental hammer.
But it allows you to play a shield, so I mean...
Yeah.
You give some, you take some.
Yep.
So block it with the Command and Conquer here.
Yeah.
And take 1.
Yep.
Now he remembers it's unique.
Yep.
So it's a 3-card hand. Let's see if we can push him.
Yeah, I saw Macho Grande though. This is a couple of dominate attacks and this is over.
Yeah, Albert's trying to decide what is his best out.
So people watching at home, like if someone is in chat, can you tell us how much of the background noise you hear? And how much of this like super excited Pokemon kids actually leak out into our stream?
I mean, the Pokemon kids actually give some hype to the stream, so I'm not so sad
no,
about it.
No,
but please let us know. We do have a... Why do I blank on the name?
Lightning Surge? No.
No, it's the other one. Entwine Lightning.
Entwine Lightning, yeah.
But we have the Captain's Call into that one for 6. We decide to block it.
Yeah. Yeah, Entwine is the one you need to fuse, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one I'm not playing in my Bride deck.
I mean, you need quite a lot of lightning cards, and you need to bag them out with the earth cards in the Channel Mountain Rogue deck, so it's...
Yeah. Yeah, I think my build right now plays 3 of the ones that comes from Arsenal with Go Again.
Right.
And that's the only lightning cards in the entire deck.
Mm.
No, I have to blink in my sideboard.
Oh, wow.
To clear out more auras if you go up against Prism.
Nice. No leader charge?
No.
Interesting.
Yep.
We're gonna play ProQuest next week, and this is gonna be fun.
Yep. I mean, I'm playing Reiner in ProQuest 100%. Always
so?
Reiner.
Okay.
Yep.
He's gonna stay in the meta for quite some time, I think.
Is this your way of saying that? Wow. The shame. No, but I played all the good Runeblade decks. And I play them so badly, and I have such bad luck with them. And then I play Reiner, and it's like, yeah, play him better. I have better luck.
Better lucky than good, right?
The thing is, with Reiner, that the deck is kind of the same. All hands kind of look the same, so you can't really draw a bad hand.
Nope.
Playing Viscera, you can definitely draw a bad hand.
For sure, for sure.
So, okay, we keep on blocking, trying to preserve life total, but Albert is down on 5. That's a really bad place to be against dominating attacks.
Yep. Especially coming in for around 10-ish damage each turn and dominate, it's...
Okay, we have a Bramble.
Is it going to be fused? Nope.
No.
So it's just an extra arcane on this bad boy Command and Conquer.
Yep.
It's also nice to see the historic pack cards showing up in game. We have the white border tectonic plating here on Jacob's side of things.
Yeah, we have 2 boosters to open after this game, and then if we don't draw something super spicy, I'm thinking we're gonna later during the day we open some historic.
How do you like the white borders?
I like the white borders. I like them on equipment especially.
Okay.
Because if you have Albert, if you have sleeves that are white on the inside, I think they look kind of nice because they blend very well with the sleeve in general.
That is true. That is true.
I'm not if I had a deck that everything could be whiteboard, I would definitely play it. But I'm not a fan of mixing because I think it looks a little bit.
Tell us what your favorite sleeves are in chat. I am the dual matte.
Yep.
Black inside and a pretty color on the outside type of gun.
Yeah, I mostly play
Did you just return the favor with another Command and Conquer backboard?
Yep. And I think that might mean that Albert has a mountain in Arsenal.
Then it's gonna commit.
Yep.
I'm curious if Jacob runs Pummel at all. I believe he must, right?
I'm pretty sure he does. I don't think he's changed his list so much since last week.
Yeah, he runs both the yellow and the reds.
Yeah.
We actually have their deck list here on site, so we can peek.
Yeah, we have a full block. Oh, Tome of Harvest. Such a good card.
I mean, you need to commit your arsenal for it, but you get to draw 3. But it pitches also for 3, so you basically need to commit 2 cards to get 3.
And it blocks for 3.
Yes.
So it blocks for 4 with an embodiment.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to come in with a beefy weave and into the lightning surge. And that was the one he had in arsenal, I believe, so it's going to go
Okay, yeah. He's just trying to push damage.
I mean, he's desperate to get Jacob down to a position where he has to start blocking, but it's quite a way to go with half his HP left to go.
Yeah, because you don't sit on any real on hit effects on Briar, right? You have your command and conquers, but
exactly. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. It's a snatch. That gets to
yeah,
draw
of
the cards.
course, yeah.
But other than that, it's not a lot.
But being pressured on Briar, you don't have the opportunity to set up. Sure, he has the Snapdragons. Yeah, right. But he has the Snapdragon, so he could potentially give go again to a snatch. But the snatches are best on the turns where you know that you're going to make the lightning embodiment and then just go for it.
So we have the double and movable in hand. That's a bit wonky, but we can use them to block with the shield.
Yep.
So it's going to be a full block here.
Yeah, Jacob is playing really well. Sure, like a couple
I know
of...
the Weavers didn't actually do anything because he didn't have a fuse for it. So
yeah.
he's just coming in for, or like helping to boost the Rosetta at this point. So he's going to come in with 2/2 here.
Yep.
As we need the non-attacks in order to get the arcane off. I believe it took the arcane, right? Yes, there we got the update. And they took the 2 physical.
All right.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Seismic Surge is going to pop. And it looks like another Titan's Fist.
All right.
I'm curious if the arsenal was from last turn or if it's something he still has in hand.
I think it's something Jacob has in hand that he's going to arsenal.
Probably.
And isn't that another unmovable? It's the red one. Didn't he have that in hand?
Yes.
So I think that's
going to help.
Yeah.
But I mean, the trick with Briar is that they don't typically come in with a lot of big attacks, only on their Shadow Mount heroic turns.
Yeah.
But
and when they come in,
blocking a 4 with a movable is quite wonky.
Yeah, and also on the big turn, like if you have 2 cards that block for 6, and then have to commit one of those to block for 8, that's still like it's not a lot of damage that you're taking away on top. And in a way, I think that's why Shane has gone so good in this meta against other decks. Like, he's good against Starbow, but it's also the fact that people need to fill up their sideboards with so many unmovable to survive Starbow, which all of a sudden means that Shane, who loves when people are playing unmovable that are kind of bad against him,
I see he's trying to consider blocking with the Command and Conquer, maybe take a damage here, just so he can preserve his hand a bit. I see a Snatch in hand as well. That's going to be helpful.
I think Albert is thinking right now, like, what kind of dominate attack will come in later? How much life do I need to... Hello, Luca. All right.
More unmovables.
Rabble, hitting.
Double unmovable.
It's the best Rabble.
I mean, once every full moon.
Yes.
You get to see the Gorganian Tome doing what Gorganian Tome does best.
Yep.
Boosting Ravenous Rabble to 5.
Yep.
Whoa. This is some crazy plays on stream today. This is super fun.
Yep. Yes, for those who doesn't know, Rabble comes in for 5 minus the pitch value of the top card of your deck. And since Gorganian Tome is the only card in the game
believe so.
That has 0 pitch value,
yeah,
it comes in for 5.
Which is like... Bless your soul whenever you see that one happen.
Yep.
Go buy a lottery ticket after this one.
Yep. And it gets an unmovable. You have to like show that no, this is not okay.
But I mean, he had 2 unmovables in hand. He still...
Yeah.
No, he took the one from Arsenal. Yeah, right.
Yep.
So he's going to just put another one in there. So both of these players are 2 and 1.
Yeah.
So whoever wins this one is probably going to have a good shot at the top 8.
Yep.
So Snatch is the card that's going to give you a draw on hit.
Yep.
And it's a tough call here for Jacob if he's going to commit an unmovable. Because
it's a really wonky hand.
It's either committing the unmovable or...
Yeah.
Like, what else are you going to do on your turn with this? Because you want to keep the blue for at least coming in with a hammer swing.
Yeah. No, I think that...
What would you do?
I think this is the right play. Because then you arsenal the unmovable. Sure, you give... Like, this is what Albert wants, right?
Right.
He needs to turn when he has a full grip. But it depends on what this full grip is.
Exactly.
This can actually
we get
turn
the Shannon Mount Heroic
this can turn the game
Force
around.
in this nature turn, and this would be absolutely random. No, he's got the Gorganian Tome, right?
Yeah.
So
there we go.
can we fish for
Draw a
something good? We start to see more and more Gorganian Tomes being played in various stacks. Oh, we have the Song of Harvest.
Oh.
We're gonna pitch.
Yeah, pitch a blue. You move.
Remove the arsenal.
And you draw 3.
Right.
That's a lot of cards.
So he has 5 cards in hand in total and also got the light. Oh, this is good. This is the comeback Elbert needs.
Yep.
Jacob is starting to sweat a bit.
Yeah. But he has a sink. A sink is a good card.
A sink and an unmovable.
It depends. Do we?
And a Spinal Crush.
But we haven't seen another mountain from Albert. He had that first turn mountain.
Exactly.
And then, okay.
So a Lightning Strike is good.
And Lightning Strike probably comes in with Go again, I would guess.
No, he has to Go again already from the Embodiment of Lightning. So probably draw a card.
Draw a card, yeah.
Yep. More juice.
Yep.
So he's going to come in for 5.
This is what you want to do with this deck. It feels so good when you're just like, yeah, and another one, and another one.
Yeah. We still have the Snapdragons available, so we can really start to push them damage here. No Shannon Mantarok though, but we can still get some juices going.
Yeah, sorry, but if you can push enough damage this turn, so Jacob go down where he needs to play even more defensively, I think that's the aim. If Snapdragons helps you to do that, Snapdragon should go.
So Jacob trying to contemplate what's the best option here to block. He also knows that he has more cards available.
Yep.
So there's more coming.
Yep. And we've only seen that one red snatch so far, right? Or
there is no on-hit effects on this one, so it's just 5. But he's going to commit to a movable. Interesting.
Oh, okay.
So he doesn't expect any more large hits, which might be reasonable. I mean, most cards in Briar's Arsenal hits for 4.
Yeah, but it's still a 5 with no on-hit effect, so...
No, but he could still draw a Nimbalism from that card draw that he got, so I would not be safe to say that more big turns are coming. But we are going to pitch a blue Earthlord Surge here.
Because, sure, Albert has drawn a lot of cards, but it also depends on, was all of those cards blues?
For sure. We do have Sea Snatch. And a Revel.
Oh, this is nasty.
Oh, so he created a Rune Shunt from the Grasp.
Yeah.
And then into the Revel, into a
Jacob has 3
Scar for a Scar that is going to get Go again because Albert has less life, so he's going to come in for 9.
Jacob has 3 red cards in hand.
This is bad.
He cannot play...
He already pitched for that immovable.
Yeah,
this is
he has
really
a
bad.
sink and potentially some block or some... I mean, he's going to take the Arcane. Yeah. That's the right choice here, though.
There's no point.
Yeah. Those cards are going to block for more.
And then the sink, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably for a question is you're going to sink for trying to fish for a blue, maybe?
Yep.
And we do?
Yeah. Or a Buckling Blow, was it? Yeah.
It's blue.
Yeah.
So we're good for more arcane coverage.
And as of now, we seem to be done with this turn when we come for 2 and 2.
Yes. And 1 card left to take in Arsenal.
Yep.
Great turn here from Albert, coming back a little bit like this.
For sure. These are the kind of turns he needs. Now he needs to put on pressure, so he eats through the hand of Jacob. Otherwise, Jacob is just going to come in with something dominated.
Yeah. The question is how much Jacob is going to be willing to block with his hand at this point.
Exactly.
He is contemplating.
Yep.
It's not the best block. It doesn't feel as good blocking at 2 with a 3 block hand.
Yeah, so I think now he's thinking, do I pitch for... No, he cannot... Yeah, okay.
Sure, he's going to take the 2 arcane.
Yeah, and set up a card in Arsenal. Yep.
Yeah, so that's going to give Albert an even...
Yeah.
What's it called?
That depends on what you're talking about.
When you have steam.
Oh. Yeah.
Tempo. Tempo's the one I'm looking for.
Steam. Or steam. It gives him more steam. I guess that's also a word you could use.
Yeah. But tempo is the technical term that I was looking for.
Nice.
All right, so we don't have... Okay, so we know that he has a spinal in Arsenal. And he doesn't have any sinks or any unmovables in hand.
No, a Crush Confidence.
Oh, we have the Shannon Mantarok. Still the wrong one, is it?
Yeah, it is the wrong one. I'll promise I'll tell everyone the story later.
So, a Snatch from Arsenal coming in for 7, +3 from the Shannon Mantarok. No go again, though. We don't have the embodiment of lightning.
No, but this feels like if it's allowed to hit, then Snapdragons goes now.
For sure. He's going to fully block this.
Yeah. Lightning press. Lightning press.
Lightning press.
Lightning press. Question mark.
Do we have it is the question. Or not?
No.
Aww.
But that was still a lot of cards.
And it didn't snap either.
No.
What does he have in hand?
It's a good question.
Interesting.
It might be the last lightning surge.
Maybe, but why wouldn't he want to snatch that? Because now this is going to be a tough, tough comeback.
Yeah.
It must have been 2 non-attacks, right? Because otherwise it wouldn't make any sense. Why would you not come in with another 7 to draw?
But if
another
it's
card
2
for the next
non-attacks, then it needs to be the blue ones he couldn't have played, because otherwise he would have played it to get the
and then into
embodiment.
Rosetta. But that would still be 3 damage for committing for snaps.
Yeah.
It's still not ideal.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, but it's not dominated.
Yep.
So he's going to be able to fully block this if he wants to. Probably not.
He comes in for 9. Albert's going to block for
7, right?
Yeah.
Taking 2, down to 2. It's starting to get hairy.
Yeah.
But Jacob is down to 12. That's we're getting there. And another spinal.
Okay.
Jacob's deck is really like, oh, I see you need another big attack in your hand. Here you go.
Yep.
I mean, there was a couple of hands there where he sat on like double unmovables, but apart from that, it's like delivering on those.
And the crippling crush into crippling crush into crippling crush in the beginning of this game kind of set the tone, right?
So we probably drew a red here for the Ravenous Rabble. So we're in for 4 base plus 3 from the channel. So
it was a red captain's call on top of the deck.
Nice to see. As a prior.
Yeah. I mean, it's no Gorganian tome.
Nah. Good enough. I mean, with so many blues in the deck, and at this point in the game, you're starting to dig for those, going down to the blues.
Yep.
So we have the 7 go again.
Yep.
And we're going to block 3, as it looks.
Mm-hmm.
Can take 4.
Yep. Albert is not smiling and joking anymore. Now it's
serious.
Yep.
It's down to business. Okay, so we have the Embodiment of Earth.
Yep.
And that's going to give the Swarm and Gloom Veil go again.
Yep.
So we're going to come in for 6.
Yep.
Still curious what he has in Arsenal, though.
So Jacob right now is thinking, like, how...
Oh, he's blocks with Spinal.
Yeah. But I'm thinking that he knows that he needs to preserve his life total, because these things are happening. These things are happening. Yeah.
The Entwined Lightning for 7.
Yeah.
Okay, Albert is gripping himself back into this game. Yep. From 520 to 2 and 4.
Those triple crippling is just motivation for Albert. It's like, okay, here we go. Yeah, but Mountain goes.
Mountain is gone. But
on 4,
Albert has another full turn, since Jacob did not have any cards.
And now the arcane damage is starting to matter.
And I believe the Seismic Surge should have popped ages ago, but...
Yeah.
Or did he create one?
No, I don't think so. Or maybe he did. I'm not sure.
I didn't catch it.
We're too excited about
next
Briar
time,
right
rewind function. So we're thinking of improvements for the stream. Let us know. So we have another full steam ahead here for Albert. He has all the tempo in the world right now. Question is, does he have what he needs in order to bring this home? And Jacob is very much put on the back foot here.
Yep.
So Captain's Call. Albert still has less left, though, so this card for Scar is gonna have go again on its own. So +2 from the Captain's Call.
Yeah.
Full block here for 6.
Yeah.
We have a Flock and a Feather Walkers on hand, do we? Interesting.
Oh
no, that's not what you want to see.
And he doesn't have any equipment left. Jacob only has the pajamas of spell stopping.
The spell stoppers.
Broken tectonic plate.
This is a nasty situation to be in for Jacob's side. He does not want to give away those 2 cards.
Nope.
But it also does not want to give Albert another card.
Yeah.
He already knows that...
He needs to block with one of the cards, because he's dead on board right now.
Right.
I think the correct... Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because now we can still block the Arcane coming in for Rosetta if
yeah.
that's the... But hold on for a second. The lightning press here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 3 damage, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, he had the tunic. Oh,
yeah.
Of course.
Yep.
Oh, that's game.
Yep.
No, I was thinking if the pitch he had left was the lightning press, why wouldn't he use that for the Rosetta?
Yep.
Yeah, of course. He had the tunic resources available, which means he could just push that and also get the card from... Of course. Yes, this is genius.
Wow, what a comeback.
What a comeback.
That
from
a comeback.
520 in the mid-game. Jacob just hitting it hard with all of those big-ass crippling crushes. No crippling crushes.
Yeah,
What's crippling crushes?
Yeah, crippling crushes.
3 of those crippling crushes back to back, basically.
Yep.
And
we're in the wrong view. Whoop.
There we go. 3 crippling crushes back to back, down to 5 HP for Albert, and then he just found the tempo. He found the Shannon Mount Heroic, and he just gassed.
Yep.
Gassed his way to the bank, basically.
Insane.
Wow. So we have a Briar now at 3-1,
Yep.
and that was the end of round 4.
Yep.
Do you know what's up next?
Us opening these boosters.
Ah!
But also lunch, right?
Yes, so we do have a lunch break.
Yep.
We're still going to have one more round to go. The last round of today before we go into top 8. But first, the players needs to eat. So we're going to open some boosters.
We're going to open some boosters. I'm going to tell everyone, like, at home or watching later, the story about the Mount Heroic.
Maybe in the top 8.
What?
Maybe in the top 8.
All right. True. Yeah. Maybe we can even get a picture.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do it.
So we're going to open these boosters. We're going to go on a little bit of a break after we see who wins this, because it's 1-1.
Right.
Yeah. And...
the Grandior. Not the Grandior. What's in this one?
The heart.
The heart.
Yeah. That's the one we want from a UPF deck.
Right.
Okay. Blah,
Go
blah.
like Gauntlet?
Go like Gauntlet. Uh-huh.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
We do have an overpower. We have another rare. It's a Guardian action.
Oh, I have a super rare. Oh.
Is that super rare?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And
I have a shiny rare.
oh no, I'm just gonna do this. So no.
So I think your super rare wins, right?
I think so. Because it's a cranial crush and we just watch.
It's basically an old school Majestic at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if is cranial crush in history pack? And if so, it should be Majestic.
I have no check-up on how the history packs are delivered.
We will get some history packs and we will open them because I want to see some white border. That being said, we are going to go on a bit of a lunch break because we need to eat too.
So expect like an hour.
We have a tournament organizer sitting here looking at his watch. When are we back? At 3.
So that's in 40 minutes.
Yeah. See you back then. And yeah, take care.
See you soon.
Bye. We are back.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
After some quick lunch break.
It was nice.
Yeah, I had a sandwich.
So it's like 3 p.m. here in Stockholm, so it's quite a late lunch for the people. But we started at 10 this morning, so it was quite a late starter here. But it's all good.
So, going into the next game, we have your most hated class versus your most hated class.
We're speaking for everyone in the out in the world.
No, it's Runeblade against Runeblade. Briar against Shane. We will see. Oh, you know what I just realized? No one can see us. Because I am.
Transition!
There we are.
There we go.
Cool. We're going to do this and get ready for the game very soon.
So, Shane versus Briar. They are both 4-0. So, this is the top of the top tables.
Yep.
And
yep.
It's Stockholm versus Karlstad again.
Oh.
Or well, one of them are technically from all the way from Auckland, New Zealand, stationed here in Stockholm since quite a years back.
Yep. Let's do this. Let's do this. That's us.
Yay! We got a table.
Yeah.
All right. So on the top sand side, we have Briar, played by Niklas Bengtsson, who is, as I mentioned, 4-0.
Yep.
Meeting Andre Pankhurst, who is playing Shane, also 4-0. And
yeah.
Another fast-paced game, I would bet, since both of these can go very aggro.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think in this matchup that Shane is a little bit favored.
A little bit.
Due to being a little bit more consistent. Niklas still going to have to draw into those Mount Heroic to get his really big turns.
Yep.
Whereby Shane just needs to wait a couple of turns.
Exactly. The more you wait with Shane, the more powerful you're going to get. Because the more shackles you have, the more cards you're going to get into Banish Zone. The more cards you get into Banish Zone, the more oomph you're going to get.
Yeah, definitely. I think that an interesting card to see, we can actually pull it up here. If Niklas
using technology.
If Niklas plays this or not. So techie Runeblade card that is pretty nice against Shane. The better you are at pitch stacking when you play Shane, the better the deck performs mid to late game.
The question is if we're going to get to mid to late game, thinking about how Briar is just going to push for an early finish sooner rather than later to not allow Shane to get to those mid-late game turns with those huge shackle turns.
Yeah. No, but Runic Reclamation I think is a super interesting card in the way if you hit there and someone has pitch stack to know okay, I'm going to draw these cards and I'm going to banish these cards. I'm going to draw these and banish these. If you destroy one shackle, you throw that off. I think that people should have teched more into this rounds on me going into this meta because it does the same thing against Shane.
Right.
Not only does it stop a lot of auras from Prism.
No.
And no, it does. No, weapons doesn't work against it.
No.
So it does stop Prism. But it does stop Shane. It shuts down a lot of attacks. If Shane goes for 6 attacks a turn, that's -6 damage. But it also throws off the pitch stack.
Gotcha.
So, this round's on me. Very good card. Also, play UPF. Very good format.
We don't see Runic Reclamation that much because it's typically really good against his Runeblade or even Prism matchup as you play as Briar or Shane, for that matter.
Yeah.
So who of them are we going to see first break out that Runic Reclamation? I think playing as Shane, Runic Reclamation is not that good against Briar.
No.
Well, you could technically destroy
the mountain
embodiments and auras.
And the mountain, right? It's an aura.
Right.
Play. Yeah.
Right.
However,
timing of that is
yes, and it costs 3, and Shane is not super keen on playing 3-cost cards.
No.
You rather play 3 1-cost cards.
It's true.
Yep.
Go wide.
But I think Briar can do wonders with that card.
I love how Niklas is stacking his weapons and arsenal and everything. Not arsenal, but the head, chest, arms, legs, equipments, and these weapons on his hero on the stack. That is legal.
Yep.
You are allowed to do so.
Yep.
Which might give you an edge somehow.
Yep. I mean, maybe not when you don't have a 2-handed and a 1-handed weapon option.
No, because that's basically what you cover for, right?
Yep.
So if you are going to come in with a 1-handed weapon and a shield, or if you're just going to come in with the 2-handers, then you don't really give that information away. But for Briar's sake, we already know it's going to be the Rosetta.
Right,
So
we're getting the thumbs up. We're in round 5, right? Yes.
This is the last round.
Yeah.
Before top 5. Top 5. Top 8.
Top
Thank
5.
you. Round 5, top 8.
Yeah, we Swedish rogue format here. We have top 5. One player goes in with a bye immediately. All right. They're ready. Do we know who starts?
We do not. So we'll figure it out. But we're gonna see we're gonna see Aether Iron Weave, I believe, on Briar's side.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Instead of the tunic.
Mm-hmm.
So Aether Iron Weave, you can use it as an action, and you get to pitch.
Yeah. If you have played a non-attack
Non-attack.
and an attack action. Yeah. It's a good card.
Do you need both attack and non-attack?
I think you need both. Let's double check that.
I don't remember if you need one or both.
We can do this. Attack action card and a non-attack.
There you go.
Yep.
Using technology. Okay, so Shane is starting.
Yep.
Probably won the die roll, and of course, as Shane, you want always start to get those shackles going.
Yep.
So he's going to go into the rune shunt and shackle, and
yep.
Call it a day, I believe.
Probably. I mean, either Niklas sits on a really good start hand. If he does not, you necessarily don't want him to cycle too many cards.
Exactly. So he's just going to Arsenal and pass.
Yeah. So I would say that Andre is probably Sweden's best chain player.
For sure.
Yes.
I don't remember if he played in the Nationals last season.
He did, right? I'm pretty sure that
it was before my time.
Yeah, I think that he met Tobias, and Tobias won in the semi-finals, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I believe it was Tobias and Christopher in the finals, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or if Andre lost against Christopher in the semi-finals, I don't remember.
Any hoot.
Yeah.
He didn't go to the finals.
No.
But he was there.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to start off with the Bramble Spark. It was fused. So it's going to give +3 to the next attack and on arcane damage dealt.
Yep.
We're going to create a rune shout.
Keep that arcane damage going.
Mm-hmm. So the next attack is going to come in with 2 separate sources of arcane. It's going to be an Entwined Lightning.
All right.
For 4 and 2 arcane. No, sorry, 7 and 2 arcane.
Yeah.
+3 from Bramble.
Yep.
No go again though, it's not fused.
Yep.
But we can solve that if need be.
Yeah. I think Niklas.
But breaking your Snapdragons on the first round is not really what you want.
But this is a race, right? Niklas needs to present
exactly, that's the thing.
As much damage as possible, as quick as possible, because when Shane gets going, I don't think that Briar has enough defensive power to stop him.
So he decided to take the 2 arcane.
Yeah.
And then fully blocks. Not fully.
Blocks
taking 1.
Blocks for 6, yeah.
Yes. So he's going to get the embodiment of Earth and call it there. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, the first turns of Shane is usually set up anyway.
Yeah.
If you
can afford to. I mean, Shane's blocking ability is a lot better than Briar has, so he can take his time here in the start. Especially when Briar is not coming in with any on-hit effects like Snatch, for example, with the draw cards effect.
No, in the beginning it's mostly important to just clear those Blood Depth cards from your binding zone. You want to keep the key ones that you can take damage from, so you can chain up a really good turn later
He hits
on.
the Ghostly Visit, that's nice.
Yep.
Goes into Captain's Call, plus probably gives go again because he hasn't activated Chain yet.
Yep.
So he's going to come in with 1 arcane and 4 go again.
Yep.
And Niklas is just going to take it.
Take 1 arcane. And then looks at his hand, thinks of how greedy can I be. No, it's not about greed right here, right? It's like how much damage can I present?
Exactly. Like, if you sit on 3 non-attacks, you can probably toss 1 away.
Yeah.
As you want to have a balanced hand to do as much as possible.
Yeah, I think most decks try to handle Shane by just winning on fatigue. And then you just throw your hand in front of everything. If you can poke in a little bit of damage, sure, it's not going to matter because you're going to get to that husk. And the moment you get to husk, Shane is still in the lead. So it's better to just
extra 6 HP from husk is quite nice in this match. So he's going to finish up with the Rosetta for 2/2. He has activated Chain, so it has Saf go again, as a Rublé action attack.
Poke Briar with her own weapon. Not cool. I think the most heated debates about the Rosetta Thorn in like the Runeblade community is why doesn't the LSS make a purple promo of it?
That would be dank.
Yeah.
Some damage calculation gone wrong here, I think. The debate is settled.
Yep.
And we're going to finish up with an Hall of Rights.
Yep.
So it's going to come in for 4.
And he can take a card, a non-attack action card.
Exactly. But it doesn't have anything in stack, I believe, so this is going to be 4.
Yep, and it needs to have Blood Depth, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's basically, what's the card's name? The one that buffs for 3.
Oh yeah, you're thinking of the one that gives +3 to an attack, and then you get to put that attack on the bottom, or what?
No. The non-attack action card with Blood Depth on it is basically just one that you run in chain.
Oh, yeah. It is called, I should know this because I play Levia myself.
Oh, you play it in Levia as well?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
You play 1 copy usually in Levia.
Okay, so we have a Tome of Harvest.
Yep.
Into a Ravenous Rabble. It's going to hit the red, so it's going to come in for 4.
Yeah.
No Gorganian Tome.
No.
For those who missed the last match, we had a clutch Albert coming in with the Ravenous Rabble hitting the Gorganian Tome last time. So.
Yep.
Ooh!
Oh,
another one!
You know what we have forgotten to do again?
No. Ah, the heroes.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's fix it. There we
hello.
Go.
Way
Such
nicer.
pretty. So
okay, rabble. Yep.
So it's 4 go again.
Yep.
And then we have, I believe, 2 more cards in hand.
Yeah. It's fun that we've had Albert and now Niklas on stream because I spent a weekend on the Pro Tour with them.
Right.
Having to listen to Briar Tech for 3 days.
But both Niklas and Albert went into Pro Tour New Jersey as well. Oh, he shows the lightning press. It's like, here you go.
Yep.
This is what I have.
This is a lot of damage.
I mean, but it gives Entwine Lightning go again, so it's worth.
Yep.
Yeah. There's not much Andre can do about it anyway. He doesn't want to block these.
Nope. And to answer your question before that lightning press, Niklas were playing the calling and Albert was playing in the PT. So Niklas was doing the same thing as I did to the other Niklas. He has tagged along because friends and it's cool to be at the PT.
Yeah. It was a great experience, I hear.
Yes, it was so cool. Everyone was so extremely friendly. And it's fun to meet up with people that are like, oh, but I'm an introverted nerd, and you're like, no, but you're more social than most Swedes.
Have you met a Swede ever? No, I'm looking forward to the Lille Pro Tour.
Yep, it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be super great.
Yeah, I'm gonna go even if I don't get an invite.
Same. I don't have anything to do in August anyway. No. Anything better to do? Okay, so Andreas really contemplating if it's actually worth defending at this point.
Yeah.
He does not like it.
No, and playing as Shane, you also need to calculate, like, where are your damage thresholds? When is the husk going to start to get threatened? Because if you go down to 13 life...
It's gone.
Yeah. And that's not just a calculation that you do from, when you're close to 13.
Nope.
It's something like, where are my breakpoints? What kind of damage is going to come in? So if you play on a really high level, which Andre is doing, then those are calculations that are going on at the same time.
Yeah. Like, how can I get the most value?
Yeah, exactly.
When and where and how. Niklas hasn't presented any Shannon Mount Heroic yet, so there's more to come.
Yep.
So he decides to block 3, taking 1.
Yep. Yeah.
Niklas is going to read on it. We can also read on it.
We can.
We can use technology.
If I can click a card. There we go. This is what Niklas was checking. The old Carrion Husk.
So it doesn't break until the start of your turn. So if you go below 13, you can still use it on your opponent's turn.
Yep.
Okay, so we're popping the AoE, coming in with the Command and Conquer.
Yeah, Niklas is just trying to present damage right now.
Push as much as possible.
Yep.
We don't have any cards in Arsenal on the rare side of things, so the on-hit effect is not threatening at all.
Yep.
But 6 damage at this point in time when you've already taken, what is it, 8, you blocked 3, you've taken 9 so far, and now it's 6 additional. So Niklas is presenting a nifty turn. And I believe Andrea just asked what was the fuse code, because he cannot, he's double checking that he cannot play that on Command & Conquer, as you need to have a card that costs 0 or less.
And Niklas being nice enough to show him, because that's not something you need to do once you've fused it. All right, contemplation.